So for me, again, this is a chart where it just continues to chop sideways. Now, this could be consolidation. That's very possible, maybe even bullish consolidation. My issue still is that we still have not cleared this area here. So essentially, from the last time we talked, it was, can we get above 30,000 and can we stay above 30,000? As of now, we haven't. What we've been doing is basically playing pinball with this support here at around 26.7 and around 28.7. So look at how you're just jumping back and forth. And again, to me, this is just dead markets right now. I mean, there's not a lot going on. We're still waiting for that next bigger move to occur. And I think that's what's going to, be the determining factor here.
Popular technical analyst and well-known trader, Gareth Soloway, has provided his most recent price forecasts for the most valuable cryptocurrency in the world. Soloway recently confirmed some of his earlier price forecasts for Bitcoin, which he has been bearishly forecasting since late 2021 in an interview with cryptocurrency Banter. However, Soloway has decided to hold on to his negative predictions until he receives a crucial signal from the charts. The leading cryptocurrency asset has had tremendous advances over the past week, particularly an unexpected move beyond $29,000. According to Soloway, the indication would be an upward move beyond 30,000 for at least a day, which would, in his opinion, finally herald the conclusion of Bitcoin's bear market. But Soloway is not completely against Bitcoin. During his interview with RAM and Kryptum, he made some strong predictions for the most valuable cryptocurrency asset. Most significantly, he provides his forecast for the price of Bitcoin over the following 3 months. Before we hear Gareth Soloway's updated price forecasts and analysis of Bitcoin, kindly take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and enable post alerts for more content like this. Be sure to leave your thoughts and observations about the video in the space underneath the video's comments section as well.
He tested this 26,700 level, and it actually held. So I think that's a positive. You want to see that hold. You don't want to see a break of that consolidation pattern. So I guess for me, it's looking at this and saying, okay, guys, on the upside potential, I actually am leaning towards this, maybe making another move up here to the 30,000 level. In addition, I think we have to look at the 30,000 as being a very psychologically important level for the market, right? Think about the even number. Think about where this was back in 2021 when the market collapsed in between the two bull market moves. And this is all around that 30,000 level. If you ask me where Bitcoin is in 2 years, I'd go long right now and I'd hold, right? So that's not an issue. I'm a huge long-term bull fan of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies in general. But the bottom line is that you haven't broken, right? So I'm someone who's like, show me the money, show me the levels, right? And the bottom line is if you look at this chart, we're right up against this level. So as much as my heart wants to say, okay, Bitcoin, race higher, as long as my gut says, oh, I hope it does, the charts are the ultimate arbiter of what I do, right? And right now we're still into resistance. So until we prove that we can break resistance, I can't turn bullish, right? It's all about probabilities. Probabilities are everything. And right now we're still into resistance. Once we get above 30,000 and we close above 30,000, I'm waiting for a couple days to make sure that it stays there. And then my thesis says, okay, now the bottom has been proven that it is in on Bitcoin.
Okay, it looks like this dominance chart ain't stopping. Do you watch Bitcoin dominance? Is that one of the charts that you look at?
I do pay attention to it. Again, when it comes to trading in general, I don't focus too much on it, but it's interesting to watch, especially when we're going through a U.S. banking crisis and a European banking crisis. So it makes sense, right, that you have money from a banking sector where all of a sudden it reinforces why there's a need for cryptocurrency and specifically Bitcoin, that money's going to rotate into Bitcoin. And so it makes sense during a banking crisis that you're going to see Bitcoin dominance gain. So right off the bat, you definitely have, so there's a resistance point right here, right? So that's, look at where we currently are and look at where price is, right? It's right into resistance. So you're into resistance on the Bitcoin dominance chart right here. That's, again, that is a beautiful trend line. I actually haven't seen this one before. Just saw it as I was pulling this up. But that to me tells me that we're consolidating just underneath it. It's still resistance. Can it break out? That's going to be the big question. But right now it's into resistance. You would say, okay, it's due for a pullback until it breaks. For years, I've said that China wants to be the reserve currency of the world, and I think this is just one step in that direction. The biggest thing for me is that type of movement is going to take years to happen. So it is starting. You're absolutely right. It is starting 100%, but it's just going to take a while for it to actually gain traction. So this is, again, it's another reason to own gold. It's another reason to own Bitcoin on the long term. If you have that long-term outlook, then this is where you want to be. Absolutely. bottom line is this, it's just an alternative. It's one more way to protect yourself. So, I'm a big believer in diversification. I know you are too, right? You never put all your eggs in one basket. That's how we get in trouble. So again, you have some Bitcoin for the long term, you have a little gold for the long term. If you think about it, Bitcoin is still controllable by governments, and that's my biggest concern, right? So again, if I have my money in Coinbase and the government comes in and shuts down Coinbase and locks it down, how do I get my Bitcoin out, right? There are other ways, obviously, but with gold, if I have a physical piece of gold in my hand, I can go anywhere in the world with that gold and I can do what I got to do. So again, I think you have to just look at it and diversify across the board. Gold's chart has a short-term breakout. It's still headed for double top here. I think, again, you're going to see gold well above 2,100 by year end, maybe even 2,300. For me, it's more of looking at the equity markets. And I think the next sell in Bitcoin will come from issues like economic recession in the US, where we see the stock market collapse substantially, right? And so you're going to see another 25% down in the S&P 500, let's say in the second half of 2023. And that will just panic people into selling. Unfortunately, you're going to get this bleed through into other risk assets where Bitcoin also sells off when that does happen. And again, remember, you have margin, right? So people that are invested in stocks, they're going to get margin calls. They're going to say, oh, well, I don't want to sell my stocks and take that loss, so let me sell a little Bitcoin and bring that money into the stock portfolio. I think, honestly, that's what we're going to see. We're going to see kind of a secondary. It's not going to be Bitcoin related. It's not like Bitcoin has an issue. It's going to be more of a panic in the overall equity markets that will bleed into crypto.
In the meantime, more businesses involved in cryptocurrencies are relocating abroad. I'm referring to the nation's current regulatory crackdown. The cryptocurrency exchange Bittrex said on Friday that it was ceasing operations in the United States due to ongoing regulatory uncertainty. The painful decision to wind down our U.S. operations will take effect on April 30th, 2023, according to a tweet from the exchange, which added that this is due to ongoing regulatory uncertainties. The ability to remove the entirety of all funds is safe. Richie Lai, co-founder and CEO of the company, added in a tweet, "It's simply not economically feasible for us to continue operating in the present U.S. regulatory and economic environment. The ecosystem surrounding cryptocurrencies differs greatly. An uneven competitive landscape results from regulatory restrictions that are frequently murky and imposed without proper discussion or consultation. These U.S. withdrawals from the cryptocurrency industry may be the first as exchanges and other organizations rush to escape the country's oppressive environment, but they won't be the last. If regulators don't change their dismal perception of the industry, we will hear a lot more announcements of this nature in the months to come." What do you think of the interview with Gareth Soloway that was published in the Bittrex announcement? In the section below, please share your thoughts and views. Additionally, make sure you set on post alerts for more videos like this and subscribe to the channel if you liked this one. Many thanks for tuning in.